A lot of people are happy about Charles Booker. You know Charles Booker, he's a state legislature in Kentucky. And then he said, well, I want to take on this centrist Democrat, this Trump Democrat named Amy McGrath, right? McGrath, that's it, Graft, right? So he's going to take her on. And he got this close. Some people say he won, Johnson. Some people say, and we saw this, them closing polling stations, like 95% of the polling stations all of a sudden had to be closed. Now, they say it's because they could get nobody to work with them because of the coronavirus. But some 95% of the polling stations were closed on Election Day in Kentucky. Now, whoever wins the Democratic primary will go on to face who? Arch nemesis to all things left, McConnell, right? That's what's going to happen, right? You know the guy talking, turkey neck himself, listening to Mitch McConnell. We got to get rid of that guy. But a lot of people like Charles because Charles Booker was talking about real stuff. He ran on Green New Deal. He ran on Medicare for All, minimum wage, legalizing cannabis, ending mass incarceration. He ran on environmental justice. He ran on a platform similar to Bernie Sanders. He was endorsed by Bernie Sanders, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, and many other popular progressive and left-leaning organizations. Got behind our man Charles Booker because they believe he has the best chance, he has the best platform, he's the best chance, the only chance in defeating Mitch McConnell and finally getting him out the way. But on the other side, who got behind Amy, the fighter pilot who campaigned on being very similar to Donald Trump, who wanted to run to the right of Mitch McConnell, saying that Mitch McConnell has failed because Mitch McConnell got in the way of Trump's agenda. He did not work towards Trump's agenda. I mean, she's a piece of work. She's amazing. As neoliberals come, she's an amazing neoliberal piece of scumbaggery. In my opinion, that's what she stood for. Okay, so that's what is centrist all the way. Hillary Clinton, with a younger Hillary Clinton is what she appeared to be to me. Okay, and that is interesting. Sort of Hillary Clinton / Amy Klobuchar / I don't know what else. Okay, so here's a point you may not know, okay? When Charles Booker was, for lack of a better term, robbed, when Charles Booker was robbed and lost by that much, or was robbed by that much, he almost immediately after losing, he conceded. People say he should have conceded because, hey, we need to recount. We need to, finish this up. We need to make sure because we truly believe in Charles Booker. He's an inspirational, motivational candidate. He's a great candidate. This is the type of leadership we need. This is the type of invigorating inspiration we're going to need to get Mitch McConnell out of there. We need to fight for that, fight for it. He didn't fight further. He said, okay, you say I lost? Okay. Numbers didn't add up? Okay. He had a surge at the end, but we know because of the coronavirus, there was a lot of mail-in ballots, lots of mail-in ballots pretty early when he really started to surge because he was out in them streets. I said Booker was out in them streets doing this thing with the protesters. It really caught fire, man. He caught fire. But maybe it was a little late considering the early voting that took place, okay? So he had a 50-point lead with those who were voting that day. But people who voted earlier and most of the middle of Kentucky, they were more centristly adhered. Here's the point I'm saying to all of this, guys. Charles Booker, he's supporting Amy McGrath in order to try to do his best to help get rid of Mitch McConnell because Mitch McConnell is a direct opponent to all things left. Charles Booker decided to support Amy McGrath in the endeavor of removing Mitch McConnell. Some people are already calling Charles Booker a sellout. Yeah, they say, oh, Charles Booker's a sellout. A couple people that follow me, I seen their Facebook. I seen them post it. Charles Booker's a sellout. I want you to know something. You're the reason why we can't have nice things. You're the reason why we can't have nice things. The point is this, guys. Charles Booker, if you're going to say Charles Booker's a sellout just because he wants to help Amy McGrath defeat Mitch McConnell in any way he can, I don't think that's fair, because obviously if it was up to Charles Booker, he'd be your nominee. He'd be the Democratic nominee. He'd be the Democratic winner. He would be the one challenging in the general for the Senate race. It'd be him and Mitch McConnell, not Amy. He's doing it because he did not win. If he won, of course he thinks he'd be better for the job. Of course he thinks it should have been him. That's why he was making hits at her ass the entire time. That's why he was going in, calling her a Trump Democrat. That's why he was campaigning hard. That's why he was holding rallies, calling her out, saying her way was the no way. It was a dead-end street to go her way. You cannot call someone a sellout. What if he actually believes that she's better than Mitch McConnell? You know, it's possible for him to believe that. It doesn't mean he's a sellout just because you disagree with him. Maybe you think he should do nothing and allow Mitch McConnell to stay. But maybe it's possible that he has inside of him, he's a true human being. I don't know him. I don't know him, okay? I'm not saying this because I know him or I've spoke to him. I've tried to bring him on the show. He hasn't even responded. And I say that just to tell you this is not about favoritism. What I'm telling you is, even though I'm a little pissed that he didn't do that, I will not succumb to this. And I'm defending him now with this because I don't think it's fair that you say you love this guy, you love this candidate, this young man, 35-year-old man who's working in the legislature there in Kentucky, who was running on all the platforms that you admire, that you would call him a sellout less than a week after he had a soul-crushing defeat of this close with only $1 million against a Democrat, a corporate Democrat who had the entire Democratic machine behind her with $40 million, 40 times more of a budget. He almost beat her. And just because maybe it's possible that Charles Booker, somewhere inside his soul, feels that we got to get rid of Mitch McConnell, and even if it can't be me, even though I think I'm the better person for the job, obviously I poured my sweat into it. I went out in crowds where I could call coronavirus to do it. I campaigned hard. I fought hard. And what do I get? I get these so-called progressives calling me a sellout for trying to get rid of Mitch McConnell, even if it can't be me. They act as if I didn't campaign. They act as if I wasn't out in those streets. They act like I wasn't running on a strong progressive campaign. From the rooter to the tutor, from the top to the bottom, I was rocking them while I still got them. And what do I get for it? I get people slamming me and bashing me, destroying my name, running me in the mud because they feel like I should not campaign for the person who I think is marginally, even if marginally means something. Mitch McConnell is devastating the inner city. He's devastating poor people across the country. He's blocking anything positive. He did the same thing under Obama. That mofo got to go. I say that mofo got to go. And maybe you should think for a second, you self-righteous progressive, if that's what you call yourself, before you shame and obliterate and shit on other progressive candidates for no reason other than they're not doing exactly what you want them to do at every second. While you sit home on your keyboard or you sit in your room on your smartphone tapping. The man was in the streets at protests getting tear gassed, you fuckhead, while you were at home. He was inhaling chemicals. Standing up for us, standing up for all poor people, working people, black people, struggling people, from the rural, from the hooter to the holler, from the holler to the water, from the hood to the holler. And what did he get for you? What did he get from you? You keyboard commando. What did he get? Armchair quarterbacking. Well, if you do that to that man, I know what you would do to me in these seconds. You're probably doing it right now. You're part of those people that try to destroy me for everything I do, than exactly what you would do. You are a problem. You are fair-weathered, short-sighted, lame individual. You are petty. Nobody's perfect. No one's going to do exactly what you could do. But you know what? Since you want to be, since your barrier, since your judge criteria is so strict for everyone, won't you run, baby? Won't you get out there and run and do it your damn self? But if you ever in a position where you could have, if you could have someone like, if you could have the momentum, the charisma, the ability to draw people, to inspire people, if you could ever have that, if you could ever possess any of the talents and skills to be able to do such a thing, and if you had the ability to get rid of a Mitch McConnell, I wish you would be not so selfish. I wish you would be not such a egomaniac that you would say, screw it, because it's not me. I don't like Amy McGrath's policies. I don't know her as a human being, but I do not like Amy McGrath's policies. But as far as I'm concerned, she's a far cry better than Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is one of the most hated, despised people in the Senate. We need to do whatever we can to get rid of that man. That man needs to leave. We need to unseat Mitch McConnell. And don't talk to me about who will replace him. I don't care. Or who's going to, who's going to be next in the leadership for Republicans. I don't care. Mitch McConnell does not negotiate. He's a terrorist. We can't negotiate with him. It saddens me. It truly does, man. It really rips me up, man, that we destroy everyone. When I say we, I don't mean we actually. I don't mean we. I know I'm preaching to the choir for a lot of you. I know I am. I know a lot of you understand what I'm saying. But if all we do is destroy our own people, we only got 5, 6, 7, 8 people. I don't know. We hardly have any people that we can have any belief system in at all it's so difficult, man. The machine is so fierce. It devours hearts and minds. The power of big money interest, the bias of the leadership, elitists, the corporate Democrat, the neoliberal wing of the party, the wings of the fascist side, the neoliberal side, all of it's disgusting. And when you have people that are willing to go up against it and you know they're sacrificing something, all I'm saying, man, is don't always look for every instance to destroy. Don't always look for every instance to tear down. And in Charles Booker's case, I take strong exception. I take strong exception. He fought one of the most valiant fights that I've seen, and since I've been covering politics, and to see people so quickly, I mean, the body wasn't even cold. I was throwing this man under the bus. I don't understand it, man. And it just harkens back to the fact that people told me, man, we don't really have a movement if all we do is kill each other. All we do is destroy each other. All we do is tar and feather one another. We lynch one another on a daily basis for the lamest of things. And all I'm saying is sometimes you have to stop, slow down, and really think about what you're doing. You don't have to vote for Amy McGrath. Some of you were dissing him. You don't even live in Kentucky. You don't even live there. You don't even know the power of what he's been influencing, what he's been doing, what that means for Kentucky. You have no idea. And maybe to the people of Kentucky, maybe they feel that Amy McGrath would be better. Now, you may not agree with that. Maybe you think that Charles Booker should shut up and allow Amy to lose. She'll probably lose anyway, Johnson. She will probably lose anyway. I got her losing. I say she's going to lose, regardless of what Charles Booker does. He's her only hope. In my opinion, he's her only hope. At any closeness, of even making this a respectable run against Mitch McConnell. That's what I believe. And maybe people are talking to him like, hey, maybe we get her the champion for some of our issues. Some of them in Kentucky. We need that. She's our only chance to get rid of Mitch McConnell. That's all we got. We got this one person who we don't trust that much, who we know she's an establishment pick. Nancy Pelosi like her. We don't like her. Come on, man. But all I'm saying is don't destroy this man because that's what we stuck with. He fought his fight. We can always argue about if you should keep fighting and when it's okay to give up. When's the time to accept? When's the time? I understand. I don't trust the system either. But damn it, man, we can't create leaders if we're just going to kill them. If we're just going to throw their names in the dirt out of our disappointment, and I get it. People disappointed, they frustrated. I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated too. But we can't run around decapitating everybody's legacy, everybody's name, everybody, man, just because we're frustrated and we're mad at the system. I'm mad at the system too, but we can't do that. We can't be hauling and yelling and spitting and cursing out the only people that we got when they're laying it on the line for us. It'd be different if they ain't laying it on the line. Did they go to the mat? They're up against a machine, right? He was up $40 million. He was up against $40 million. That ain't going to the mat for you. What's going to the mat for you? They have to die for you. They have to literally die cut their arms off, cut their limbs off in front of you, bleed out on the sidewalk in front of you, and their last words be revolution, for you to accept that they gave it all? That's what it's going to take. When's the last time you did it? No, seriously, guys, let's go a little bit deeper. When was the last time you gave it all? When the last time you turned down a job, turned down an opportunity, turned down the door opening for you in your career, your life? I've done it several times. When's the last time you turned down something to take care of your family? Maybe some of you have done it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about those people that I got a feeling ain't never done anything, no sacrifice. No sacrifice for the greater good. You live with your mother's basement. You don't have kids. You don't have grandkids. You don't have Asian parents. And you're not given an opportunity that you worked your whole life to create an opportunity. You at their door of that opportunity, and now they want you to compromise. How many of you have turned it down? Now, I've done that. Have you done that? Have you ever done that? Don't criticize what you've never had to do. Don't criticize people for being in a situation you've never been in, and I hope you never have to be in that situation. I really do. It's not as easy as it looks on TV, mofo. It's a lot different in person when you got to do it in real life. When you get a call from an entity that you be like, oh, wow, in the former you would have been jumping up and down and happy as hell. But then you got to go in a dark room and sit there for a minute. You got to really think about it. You got to think about when Vice News calls you up and says, hey, we like you, Tim Black. We think you'd be good for this. You go, wow, Vice News, yeah. You interested? Wow, me? You serious? Me? Yeah, you. Tim Black, we love your show. We watch your show. We think it's great. A lot of people watch your show, man. Yeah, we'd like to talk to you about this. But you know, I can't change my politics, man. I can't change how I feel. I'm not going to tone nothing down, man. Let me tell you something. You people who do that, who crucify us, you do not know what you do. You do not know what you do and what we do and what it is to be us. Worked my whole life to be able to do what I do. And there's just some things that I'm not going to be able to do if I want to stay righteous. Now, I don't know if this applies to Charles Booker or if it applies to Bernie Sanders, or if it applies to AOC, or if it applies to Michael Moore, if it applies to Senator Nina Turner, for who it applies to. Killer Mike, I don't know. I don't know who it applies to. But for those it applies to right now, I'm saying it for them. Have our backs. Stop stabbing us in our backs. All right, y'all. We're going to go for a break. We'll be back in a minute. After that, we open up phone lines. Wolfpack.